everyone, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to the session, my dear Bacha Party. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fine and amazingly well. Sasrikal, Namaskar, Bonjour, Adab. Let's get started with our chapter of human resources, and today's session is going to be dedicated to human resources and the distribution of population. Let me quickly introduce myself. बच्चों मेरा नाम अंकना है and I am your expert for social sciences at Embibe. I've been working for more than 9 years now where I've been associated with the education sector and I had a wonderful opportunity to interact and teach students of both CBSE and ICSE online and offline. I've done my studies in the field of humanities, as you can see, and I specialize in English as well as social science. Now, a small introduction of the chapter that we are getting started with. Human resources shuru kare hum. Broadly, it can be divided in these three topics: human resources and distribution of population, processes of population change, and population composition. Today, we will be focusing on distribution of population. अब ये चैप्टर ना हमारे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज नेक्स्ट ईयर देयर आर गोइंग टू बी 2 चैप्टर्स. 9th में हमारा इको में एंड ज्योग्राफी में ही 2 ऐसे चैप्टर आएंगे जहाँ पे द कॉन्सेप्ट्स दैट यू आर लर्निंग ओवर हियर आर गोइंग टू बी वेरी हेल्पफुल एंड एग्जैक्टली रेप्लिकेटेड. ठीक है, तो जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स आप यहाँ से पढ़ के जा रहे हो वो सेम चीज़ें आप वहाँ पढ़ोगे, उस पर आपको बिल्ड अप ऑन करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. हाय कुशाग्र, गुड इवनिंग, वेलकम टू दिस सेशन. ओके, द कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर गोइंग टू बी लाइक 2 चैप्टर है. ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज एक है विच विल बी इन योर इकोनॉमिक्स एंड पॉपुलेशन एंड ज्योग्राफी. इन दोनों में बच्चे जो आप पढ़ने वाले हो उसका जिस्ट हमें यहाँ पे उसका बेस द फंडामेंटल इज गोइंग टू बी फॉर्म्ड ओवर हियर. ठीक है. द कॉन्सेप्ट्स दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डू टुडे: ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज एज अल्टीमेट रिसोर्स, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन, फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन, डेंसिटी ऑफ पॉपुलेशन, 3 population zones, densely populated regions, moderately populated regions and sparsely populated regions. So basically in general population के बारे में बात करेंगे. So the human population on earth is increasing manifold, which means exponentially. Today it's 4, tomorrow it's 12, then it becomes 48. That's how it is increasing. It's just going crazy. The graph is only going up and up. Now, can you imagine that we have over 6 billion people of, to the population? That is what has been added in just over 200 years. सिर्फ 200 सालों में बच्चे जो population है वो 6 बिलियन बढ़ चुकी है. 6 बिलियन, if I'm not wrong, is 60 crores, right? 60 करोड़ लोग जो है वो add हो चुके हैं. मैं सही बोल रही हूँ ना यार? मैं बिलियन मिलियन में बहुत कंफ्यूज हो जाती हूँ कन्वर्जन में. या तो 60 करोड़ होंगे या 600 करोड़ होंगे. बट इमेजिन मैन, what is the amount of people who have been included over here? That is huge. So do you think it is a burden on our planet? I feel yes. यार population जितनी बढ़ेगी उतनी resources exploit होगी, but of course we can channelize it in a better way, right? It will become a burden it will not become a burden if we use the resources responsibly. What I was just saying, right? Instead, it will evolve into the ultimate support for growth and development. But that is when we are being judicious. जब हम सोच समझ करके अपने resources को ध्यान रखते हुए, preserve करते हुए इस्तेमाल करते हैं, तब ऐसा होता है. पर जब ऐसा नहीं करते हैं तब कैसा होता है? तब चीज़ें एक्सप्लॉइट होने लगती हैं, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग होने लग जाता है, आइस जो कैप्स है वो मेल्ट करने लग जाते हैं, ग्लेशियर्स मेल्ट करने लग जाते हैं. Have you ever wondered how the human population is distributed around the world? दुनिया में लोग कहाँ कैसे मिलते हैं? That let's discuss. So people are ultimately a resource. बच्चा, सबसे पहले what we have to understand is what do you mean by a resource? रिसोर्स का मतलब, अंशिका, हाय, गुड इवनिंग, वेलकम. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय रिसोर्स? ठीक है. कुशाग्र नहीं बच्चे. हाँ जी, कुशाग्र, रिसोर्स का मतलब क्या होता है? एनीथिंग दैट इज प्रोवाइडेड बाय नेचर टू अस व्हिच ह्यूमंस यूटिलाइज फॉर टू मीट देयर नीड्स. है ना, नेचर ने हमको कुछ दिया है जिसको हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं हमारे नीड्स को मीट करने के लिए. अब जैसे कि कोल, जैसे कि पेट्रोलियम, फॉसिल फ्यूल्स एटसेट्रा, राइट? ऑल ऑफ दीज आर कंसिडर्ड एज नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज. उन सबको हम क्या बोलते हैं? नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज बोलते हैं. बट बच्चे नन ऑफ दोज रिसोर्सेज, इनमें से किसी भी रिसोर्स का इस्तेमाल हम नहीं कर पाएंगे इफ ह्यूमंस आर नॉट देयर, बिकॉज इट इज द ह्यूमंस who have identified, acha, this piece of rock which is black in color can burn and emit heat. So this is the coal, this is how we can use it. Acha, this thing which is deep down found in the soil, in the earth surface, is a fossil fuel. It can be used to run cars, vehicles in general, machines, and emit energy. We need the technology, the knowledge, all of that which has been brought by the humans. And humans themselves go and interact with these resources. Human ही है जो अपने दिमाग से, अपने शरीर से, अपने नॉलेज से, अपने टेक्नोलॉजी से इन रिसोर्सेज से इंटरैक्ट करता है, उसे डेवलप करता है और उसे यूटिलाइज करता है. तो हमें क्या समझ आया? ह्यूमन themselves are a resource. ह्यूमन्स खुद जो हैं वो रिसोर्स हैं, एंड इन फैक्ट द बिगेस्ट ऑफ देम ऑल, सबसे बड़े हैं. Right? So people are ultimately a resource. Humans, with their demands and abilities, they transform nature's resources in valuable assets. Otherwise, coal will just remain a piece of rock, a piece of stone. Petroleum will just remain something buried within the ground. ये सारी चीज़ें वैसे की वैसे ही रह जाएगी अगर humans अपना दिमाग, अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी, अपना नॉलेज, अपनी स्किल इस्तेमाल करके इसे डेवलप ना करें. Healthy, educated and motivated individuals develop resources as per their needs. So human themselves are a resource बच्चा, ठीक है? And humans become a better resource. दिन पर दिन और बेहतर होते जाते हैं. The more you get educated, the more you get healthy, ठीक है? The better resource you are. उतनी ज़्यादा आपकी potential high होती है to do development, to earn money, to add value to the society. That is why humans develop every day with the investment made in them in terms of education, in terms of health. ठीक है? Now over 90% of population live on about 30% of the land, leading to uneven distribution. तो अब हम किस चीज़ की बात कर रहे हैं? Now we are talking about the distribution of population. What do you mean by distribution of population? हमारा मतलब क्या हो गया distribution of population से? हमारा मतलब डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन से ये होता है, व्हाट वी मीन व्हेन वी से डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन, इफ दिस इज द एंटायर अर्थ, ये अगर हमारा पूरा अर्थ है, यहाँ पे लैंड है, यहाँ पे लैंड है, ठीक है, थोड़ा यहाँ पे लैंड है, थोड़ा यहाँ पे लैंड है, यहाँ पे भी लैंड है, ठीक है. नाउ ऑल ऑफ दिस एरिया इज द लैंड, ठीक है, बट ऑल 100% ऑफ पॉपुलेशन डजंट इज नॉट इवनली स्प्रेड अराउंड. इन ऑल द कंट्रीज, in all the portion of land, equal number of people do not stay. For example, India का example ले लेते. There are places like UP, Bihar, Kerala, West Bengal, which has very very high population. ठीक है, बहुत सारे लोग रह रहे हैं. वहीं पे there are places like Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Andaman Nicobar. All of this is also part of our country, Lakshadweep, but very less number of people are staying in these places, around these places. So the population is not distributed evenly. Some places are heavily populated, some places are not, right? Anshika, बच्चे खुद ही सोचो ना, China और India, the highest two populated nations are in Asia. So what do you think, which continent probably can be the answer to that question? So over 90% of people stay just on 30% of the land. सिर्फ 30% एरिया में ही जो है 90% आपकी पॉपुलेशन बसी हुई है. क्राउडेड एरियाज साउथ एंड साउथ ईस्ट एशिया, यूरोप, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न, नॉर्थ अमेरिका. सो अंशिका, दिस ऑल्सो आंसर्स योर क्वेश्चन. दिस पोर्शन ऑफ एशिया इज वेरी वेरी हाईली पॉपुलेटेड. ठीक है, यूरोप में भी बहुत ज़्यादा भीड़ है काफ़ी, बिकॉज बहुत बड़ा भी है यूरोप. नॉर्थ ईस्ट एंड नॉर्थ अमेरिका, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न एंड नॉर्थ अमेरिका भी है. Whereas areas where very less population are there, in general where conditions are difficult to survive in. For example, the polar regions. Polar regions, अब Antarctica पे आपको पता है people do not stay. It's not difficult to habitat that, right? वहाँ पे habitat create करना easy नहीं है. तो वैसे ही आपका high altitude, high latitudes means these polar regions. ये वाले जगह पे लोग जल्दी नहीं मिलेंगे. Tropical desert, life is difficult in desert. वहाँ जल्दी नहीं मिलेंगे. हाई माउंटेन्स, इक्वेटोरियल फॉरेस्ट, बिकॉज फॉरेस्ट इज़ वेरी वेरी डेंस, सो यू कैन नॉट, इट्स नॉट ईजी टू सर्वाइव इन ऑल दैट वाइल्ड लाइफ अवे फ्रॉम सिविलाइजेशन. तो ये सारे जगह पे हमको पॉपुलेशन जो है वो थोड़ी सी कम मिलती है. A huge chunk of population you will find on the north of equator compared to the southern regions. Why? Land is also not very easily available. तो जब आप ग्लोब देखोगे ना बच्चे, जब आप ग्लोब पे नज़र डालोगे, तो if this is the equator, ठीक है, आप you will find that more people stay in the northern portion of equator compared to southern portion of equator. Why? In general, very less areas are there in the southern portion. साउथ में जगह ही कम है. ऑस्ट्रेलिया, अफ्रीका, एंटार्क्टिका, सो दीज आर प्लेसेस विच हैज लेस नंबर ऑफ पीपल स्टेइंग. मेजॉरिटी पोर्शन लाइज इन द नॉर्थ, सो मेजॉरिटी पॉपुलेशन रिमेन्स इन द नॉर्थ, राइट. Nearly 3/4 of the global population inhabits Asia and Africa. 3/4, which means 75% ऑफ पॉपुलेशन आपको एशिया में और अफ्रीका में दुनिया की मिल जाती है. ठीक है. 60% of the world's inhabitants are concentrated in only 10 nations, each with 100 million people. And the top two in this are India and China, of course. तो हमारी जो पूरे वर्ल्ड की पॉपुलेशन है, all the people that stay on earth, 60% of that total population, 60% उस पूरे पॉपुलेशन की मात्र 10 देशों में पाई जाती है. जस्ट इन 10 नेशंस. इंडिया अलोन इज द होम ऑफ 13% पीपल ऑन द अर्थ. तो 15% तो हमारे यहाँ ही हो गए यार. बाकी 60% बाकी के 9 देशों में, जिनमें से अगेन सिमिलर परसेंट गोज टू चाइना. सो 30% ऑफ पॉपुलेशन इज होम टू इंडिया एंड चाइना के फॉर्म में. 30% people stay here itself in the 2 nations. The other 30% stays in the other 8 nations. So you can see how the population has been distributed. So where do most of the world's population live? America, Australia, Asia or Antarctica? So Anshika was just asking this question. This question has come for the quiz also, and I think based on the data that we have read and studied, you will be able to answer it. Where do most of the world's population live? So हमारे पास धनुष, तन्मय, एब्सोल्यूट करेक्ट आंसर, परफेक्ट टाइमिंग. आद्या, एंजल एंड अंशिका ने भी जवाब दे दिया. इट इज एशिया यू गाइस. एशिया इज फॉलोड बाय अफ्रीका. सेकेंड नंबर पे क्या आ जाता है हमारा? सेकेंड नंबर पे हमारा अफ्रीका आ जाता है. So the government of India has a Ministry of Human Resource Development. Did you guys know that? Like how we have the Railway Ministry, how we have the Defense Ministry, External Affairs Ministry, अलग अलग तरह की मिनिस्ट्री होती है. वैसे Human Resource, the resource that humans are, उनकी डेवलपमेंट के लिए भी एक मिनिस्ट्री बनाई हुई है. It was created in 1985 to focus on development of human skills, good health, good education, other kind of skills, language and reading ability, writing ability, stuff like that. This is what tells us that if you have to have an entire ministry for it, अगर आप एक पूरी ministry बना रहे हो, how important the human resources are. Human resource जो है वो कितना important है हमारे देश में. ठीक है? Everywhere, not just our country, everywhere. Now factors that affect the distribution of population. पॉपुलेशन का जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है वो कौन से फैक्टर्स हैं जो उसको अफेक्ट करते हैं. नाउ राइट नाउ वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट द फैक्ट दैट देयर आर प्लेसेस लाइक हिमालयाज, राइट. हिमालयाज के पास या फिर आप देखोगे कि नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न इंडिया, लेस नंबर ऑफ पीपल स्टे. Whereas places like Punjab, Kerala, Bihar, UP, West Bengal, a lot of people stay. Why? Because of the geography of the area. Because of the geography of the area, guys, which is also referred to as the topography, which means how is the land. If it is a desert, if it is a mountain, if it is a very dense forest, if it is an area where a lot of rivers are there, it is difficult to form settlements in these areas. Just to be able to build roads and houses on mountains are very difficult. If you've traveled in a mountain, you would know that. पहाड़ों पे आप घूमने जाओ तो गाड़ियाँ चढ़ाना, खुद पहुँच पाना, चलना, एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाना बहुत वक्त लेता है, चीज़ों को पहुँचाना वक्त लेता है, मौसम एक्सट्रीम होती है, ठंडी बहुत होती है. So for all of these reasons, less people stay there. It's not very easy, it's not very accessible. Whereas places like Kerala, Punjab, Haryana, Bihar, UP, ये plains हैं. These are plain grounds. Climate is very moderate. बहुत सर्दी नहीं, बहुत गर्मी नहीं. No extreme winters, no extreme summers. बराबर monsoon, plain land, easily possible to travel. Transportation can be easy. Market can be easily built. Soil is very fertile. So a lot of business and occupation can be built. बहुत तरीके का काम किया जा सकता है. All of these factors is what decides whether the population will be high or low in the area. So सबसे पहला क्या हो जाता है? The landform, the geography. So people prefer plain areas compared to mountains and deserts. Why? Hi Parinita, bachche, good evening. Because these places you can easily farm, you can easily put up industries, services, transportation, very easy to reside. Climate बहुत matter करता है. If the climate is very extremely hot, very extremely cold or both, you don't like to stay there. Climate जहाँ पे अच्छा होता है, moderate होता है, more people want to stay there. Climate plays a very important role. Like I used to stay in Delhi. Fine, it can be adjusted to. But once I moved to Bangalore, I felt the climate is so nice over here that moving back to Delhi is always going to be a challenge for me. I will always prefer staying in Bangalore. Right? Soil. Soil बच्चे जैसे मैंने आपको बोला desert में आपको उतनी ज़्यादा population नहीं मिलेगी. Why? Because on a sandy soil to build the road, to do farming, to grow food for people, all of that is very difficult. तो जहाँ soil fertile होता है, where the soil is fertile, naturally attracts more people because people can do farming over there and create employment and different kinds of jobs. खेती बाड़ी करके जहाँ पे soil fertile है, ज़्यादा jobs create किए जा सकते हैं, खाना बढ़ाया जा सकता है, right? तो गंगा ब्रह्मपुत्र प्लेन्स में हमने देखा है पॉपुलेशन बहुत ज़्यादा हाई है बिकॉज ऑफ द एग्रीकल्चरल वायबिलिटी, बिकॉज एग्रीकल्चरली द लैंड इज़ वेरी रिच. ठीक है. वाटर एज अ सिंपल एग्जाम्पल, वेयर रिवर्स नहीं है, फ्रेश वाटर नहीं है, वाटर डिफिकल्टीज देयर, why will you settle there? How will you get the drinking water? How will you get the water to take a shower, to bathe? How will you get water to wash your dishes, to clean the floor? You need water for everything, and if water scarcity is there, it will be very difficult. So wherever rivers are there, fresh water जहाँ भी मिल रहा होता है in abundance, people tend to go there. Plus the soils are also fertile in these areas. ठीक है. तो रिवर वैलीज वहाँ पे भी बहुत पॉपुलेशन होता है बिकॉज फ्रेश वाटर वेरी इजीली अवेलेबल. ठीक है. उतना ज़्यादा मुश्किल नहीं होता है, आराम से लोग वहाँ पे पानी की वजह से सेटल कर पाते हैं. देन एरियाज वेयर अ लॉट ऑफ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज आर देयर. व्हाई? बिकॉज अगेन अ लॉट ऑफ ऑक्यूपेशन कैन बी बिल्ट. ठीक है. We are writing minerals over here, but what we are basically referring to is natural resources. These resources could be water. These resources could be minerals. These resources could be good fertile soil. जहाँ भी अच्छा natural कोई resource मिलता है, wherever there is availability of a good natural resource in abundance, people move there. Be it soil, be it minerals, be it water. Because whenever these things are available, जब भी ये चीज़ें available होती हैं, a lot of jobs can be created around it, which will lead to a lot of employment, right? Occupations can be generated. बहुत तरीके का काम जनरेट किया जा सकता है. तो लोग नेचुरली ऐसे जगह पे सेटल होना चाहते हैं. पीपल वांट टू सेटल मोर एंड मोर ओवर देयर. फॉर एग्जांपल इन द माउंटेन्स, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ जॉब कैन यू थिंक ऑफ? Mountain may probably you can grow apples and all, but apart from that I can't think of a lot of things. But in a plain area where the soil is very fertile, I know that I can think of multiple things. I can buy a land, be a land owner and hire farmers to work there. I can be a farmer myself. I can be a trader and trade with the farmers who are growing these products. I can have a business of transportation, provide the transportation and my services to these farmers who are trading and having business in this, because all of this will be happening at a very large scale. So the demand will be very very high, बहुत high demand होगा. तो इसीलिए ऐसे एरियाज में लोग जल्दी ज़्यादा सेटल करते हैं कंपेयर टू एरियाज लाइक माउंटेन्स. तो जहाँ मिनरल्स है वहाँ पे माइनिंग कैन बी डन. With mining you can set up factories, you can again have transportation and other services to provide to the miners to send their products to the factories. Factories से whatever is being built you can take it to the market. So there are multiple job opportunities. तो ऐसी जगहों पे जहाँ मिनरल डिपॉजिट होते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल झारखंड, छोटा नागपुर प्लेटो इन इंडिया, इन सारे एरिया पे भी आपको बहुत ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन मिलेगी. जैसे साउथ अफ्रीका का डायमंड माइन जहाँ पे है, मिडिल ईस्ट में ऑयल रिसोर्सेज जहाँ पे पेट्रोल मिलता है वहाँ पे बहुत लोग हैं. ऑल ऑफ दिस अट्रैक्ट सेटलमेंट बिकॉज मनी फ्लोज, एम्प्लॉयमेंट हैपन्स, जॉब्स हैपन एंड पीपल कैन ईजिली स्टे देयर. ओके, नाउ व्हाट आर द अदर फैक्टर्स व्हिच इज अफेक्टिंग द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन? सोशल, कल्चरल एंड इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर्स. इकोनॉमिक तो इतनी देर से हम खुद भी पढ़ रहे थे, राइट? इतनी देर से ऑल ऑफ दिस टाइम वी हैव बिन डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर्स आवरसेल्व्स. सोशल फैक्टर्स क्या है? रीजन्स विथ बेटर हाउसिंग, एजुकेशन, हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटीज. सो इन सिंपल वर्ड्स यू गाइज, इफ आई गिव यू अ चॉइस, आप बताओ मुझे, ठीक है? कृष्णवेणी, हाय. हाँ जी बिल्कुल कृष्णवेणी यहाँ भी है, नॉट एज बिग एज अफ्रीका. तो कृष्णवेणी, परिणीता, all of you people who are here, Anshika, Adya, if I give you a choice, ठीक है, that you either get to stay in a city or you get to stay in a village, where would you want to settle down? If it is a choice, अगर आपको चुनने का मौका दिया जाता है कि आप शहर में रह सकते हो और आप गांव में रह सकते हो, आप कहाँ रहना चाहोगे? Where would you like to stay? If given a choice, if just in case you have to choose, अगर चुनना पड़ जाए तो city. Okay, Anshika says city. What about others? Krishnaveni, Parinita, Ardya, where would you guys like to stay? All the other people in the session. City. Why? Why would you like to stay in the city? Because of the right, Krishnaveni. But what if you're not earning high? Okay. Muntazir, city. Angel also is saying city, right? Because of the technology. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. City has all of these facilities, right? I can just turn a switch on and the water will be pumped into my tank. I have proper taps. Small things. See, there are villages which are also developed, but we are taking an example of a village which is not so developed. Okay? Internet connection might be a problem, electricity supply might be a problem, road connectivity might be a problem. However, villages are beautiful. I would love to stay in a village for maybe temporary basis, right? Or I would love to be in the nature for maybe a month or two. But if I have to stay long term because of all the facilities of hospitals and banks and movies and malls and roads, schools, offices, everything that a city offers to me, I would prefer to stay in a city. So this is a social factor. Any place where proper housing is there, you have proper schools and hospitals, all these facilities available for you, people tend to stay more in this. That is why you will see urban areas are more populated than the villages. शहरों में गांव से ज़्यादा भीड़ इसीलिए होती है. Culture बहुत matter करता है. Places of religious or cultural significance draw populations like Varanasi, Jerusalem, right? So people who are inclined towards following a certain culture, a certain tradition, a certain religion, they would want to go and settle there. And plus these are attractions for various reasons. So if you have a very strong heritage, religious heritage या cultural heritage, ठीक है, traditional heritage, something old, something different. It attracts people. People want to learn it, settle down there, follow it. So all of these places will also have very, very high population, right? Hi Siddharth, good evening, welcome. Economic reason क्या होता है बच्चे? All this while I have been telling you, wherever the probability of getting more jobs and more payment is possible, people would want to go and settle there. तो जहाँ भी job opportunities better होती हैं, be it a city, be it a nation, people tend to travel there more, right? So industrial regions जैसे कि Osaka in Japan, Mumbai in India, they attract a very huge chunk of population because of the job opportunities that they have to offer. So which of the following is not a geographical factor that affects population distribution? इनमें से कौन सा factor population distribution को affect नहीं करता है? Topography, climate or cultural significance and minerals. Which of the following factors does not affect the population distribution geographically? Okay, Krishnaveni has answered, wonderful. I think a lot of you have answered, right? Dhanush and Tanmay have answered, perfect timing mein, good job, correct answer. Ada, Angel and Muntazir have also answered. And Parinita has answered absolutely correct and perfect timing. Bache, which of the following is not a geographical factor that affects the population distribution? Culture is not related to geography. बाकी सब topography, climate, mineral, ये land. Geography क्या होता है? Anything which is related to the land, right? So cultural significance will become the answer over here because it does not come under geographical factor. It is a social, cultural and economic factor. तो ये वहाँ fall करेगा. अब समझते हैं density of population. What do you mean by density? Density is in a particular area what is the amount present. So density population basically means कोई भी unit area, a kilometer square or 10 kilometer square, you're taking any unit area, 1 meter square, whatever area you have taken, whatever unit area you have taken, how many people are present in that? That is the density of population. तो ये नंबर बताता है कि एक स्पेसिफिक यूनिट एरिया में कितने लोग रहते हैं. नॉर्मली वी मेजर इट पर स्क्वायर किलोमीटर. एवरी किलोमीटर स्क्वायर के एरिया में 1 by 1 किलोमीटर का व्हेन यू ड्रॉ स्क्वायर, how many people are staying in that area? Normally that's how you measure, but you can, that your square can be any area. How many people are there tells you the density, population density. ठीक है. हाँ जी, अमनजोत बताइए. The global average population density is 51 persons per square kilometer. So when you take a global level assessment, what we have realized is that every kilometer square pe there are 51 people on an average in the entire world. But it will vary from nation to nation, state to state. ठीक है. For example, in India, in Bihar, every square kilometer पे more than 1100 people you will find. That is how densely populated Bihar is. Which means even in small areas, a lot of people are staying. Okay. South Central Asia exhibits highest population density followed by East and Southeast Asia. तो साउथ सेंट्रल एशिया में बच्चे जो कंट्रीज है वहाँ पे वी सी डेंसिटी बीइंग वेरी हाईएस्ट, विच मीन्स इन लेस एरियाज मोर पीपल स्टेइंग, फॉलोड बाय ईस्ट एंड साउथ ईस्ट एशिया. वी फॉल अंडर साउथ ईस्ट एशिया. So average density, if you talk about India, it is 382 people per square kilometer. You can see the difference between world and Indian standards, right? 51 to 382. But there are states in India where it is way higher than this also. So it varies, you take an average and based on that you decide. So based on the population and the density, we have three population zones. Densely populated, which means areas where a lot of people are staying. Moderately, where as per the area, decent amount of people are staying. And then you have sparsely, which means more people could have stayed, but in this area, less number of people are staying than what the area can support. ठीक है? Krishna Veni, you should know that India and Bharat both are our country's name as per the constitution right from the time of independence. So India cannot change to Bharat. That doesn't make sense. Both are India's name. ठीक है, हिंदी में भारत का संविधान लिखते हैं, इंग्लिश में इंडियाज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन वी राइट. बोथ आर इंडियाज नेम. ये दोनों हमारे देश का नाम है ना. ठीक है, चलो आप समझते हैं डेंसली पॉपुलेटेड एरियाज. डेंसली पॉपुलेटेड एरियाज क्या हो जाएंगे? So the regions include Ganga plains in India and river valleys such as the Huanghe or the Changshan in China and Nile in Egypt. These areas have very, very high number of people staying in smaller areas. ठीक है, अमनजोत क्यों एक्सक्यूज किया था बच्चे आपने? आप बताओ तो सही मैम को. Then you have moderately populated areas. So these are areas which we basically mean that as per the area available, land available and resources available, the population is a good match. It is neither very high, it is nor very low. ना बहुत ज़्यादा लोग रह रहे हैं, ना बहुत कम लोग रह रहे हैं, बराबरी में population जो है बनी हुई है. ये moderately populated areas होते हैं. For example, पुणे, ठीक है, और वाराणसी, जेरूसलम, कल्चरल सिग्निफिकेंस में भी ऐसे कुछ एरियाज हैं. ठीक है, बट ऑफ कोर्स दीज आर प्लेसेस विद बेटर फैसिलिटीज. वाराणसी, जेरूसलम विल स्टिल हैव हायर प्रपोर्शन बट not as very high. Then you have sparsely populated regions. Sparsely populated माने these are the regions where because of the climate, because of the land form, very less number of people stay. Resources are more, land is more, but the population is very less. दूर दूर में घर मिलेंगे आपको, बहुत दूर दूर बहुत कम लोग रहते हैं. ठीक है, so that is sparsely populated, right? Hi Saurabh, good evening. Indian bikes driving 30, कोई बात नहीं, रह जाओ. ठीक है, तो regions such as mountainous terrains, जैसे कि आपका Alps, the Himalayas, these are difficult terrains. It's very cold, it's very high, it's very rough, distressed. It's difficult to stay there. The connectivity with other parts are difficult. ठीक है, extreme climatic zones like the desert, ठीक है, राजस्थान का desert, Sahara desert, Thar desert, और your polar regions, ठीक है, these places, all of these areas with mineral deposits like South Africa's diamond mines or the Middle East oil reserves, these are the places which are very sparsely populated. यहाँ बहुत कम लोग रहते हैं because it's very difficult to stay here. ठीक है, चलो अब इसी बात पे क्विज कर लेते हैं. डेंसली पॉपुलेटेड रीजन, which out of the following is a densely populated region you guys? इनमें से कौन सा एरिया एक ऐसा एरिया है जहाँ पे पॉपुलेशन जो है वो बहुत हाई है, बहुत डेंस है? Densely populated regions out of the following: Thar Desert, Ganga Plains or Himalayas? Adya, Angel, Anshika, absolutely correct answer, perfect timing, good job, high five. Then we have Siv, Darsha and Tanmay who have also taken an attempt, not bad. And Dhanush ने भी attempt लिया है. कौन से बच्चे रह रहे हैं अभी? अमनजोत एंड परिणीता, आई एम वेटिंग फॉर यू गाइज टू आंसर. बच्चे वो एरिया जहाँ बहुत पॉपुलेशन होगा, फर्टाइल लैंड होगी, क्लाइमेट बेटर होगा, ठीक है, प्लेन होगा, तो ये कहाँ पे हो सकता है हमारा? गंगा प्लेन्स में हो सकता है. वेयर इज इट पॉसिबल? इन गंगा प्लेन्स. ठीक है, तो आई थिंक बच्चों ने ले लिया अटेम्प्ट, अमनजोत ने तो ले लिया है. ठीक है, हाय साई भविष्कार, हाय बच्चे. नहीं, जौहर इन जनरल जो है पहले रॉयल फैमिलीज में प्रैक्टिसेस होते थे. कृष्णा वेनी, इट यूज्ड टू बी प्रैक्टिस्ड अर्लियर, नॉट एनी मोर, बिकॉज जौहर वाज समथिंग व्हिच वाज डन व्हेन the opponent would win and would try to capture the houses and the women of the royal family that would lose the war. They didn't want them to catch hold of them and exploit them, so they would give up themselves to fire. It's not practiced anymore because wars and all of these things are over. Okay guys, so with this we have finished this portion of our session. ठीक है, आपने attempt किया मंजू? देखा मैंने, हाँ जी, I did see that you have attempted. So let's summarize. What did we do? We saw that humans themselves are resources. In fact, the most important. When you educate humans, when you give them good health care, they evolve, right? They become more useful. They bring more money. The human resources take value, shape the value of the natural resources, because humans themselves are a resource. They give value to natural resources with their mind, skill, knowledge, technology, okay? And through the demands and abilities. Population distribution is how many people stay in what areas, which we have seen is uneven in the entire world. There are places with a lot of population like Asia, and there are places where very less population is there, like high altitudes of polar regions, deserts. हाँ जी बच्चे बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बताओ, what is your doubt? Shivdarsha, please just drop your doubt in the comment section. I will read it and resolve it. Meanwhile, I'll revise what we have done. What are the factors which affects this distribution of population? What is the landform, geography, climate, what is the soil type, if there is any natural resource available like water, like minerals, ये सारी चीज़ों से भी फर्क पड़ता है. Then social, cultural and economic factors are also very big factors. South Central Asia has the highest population density. India has 328 people per square kilometers density on an average. Based on the density, we have 3 zones. What is density? Density is amount of people found over a specific unit area. It could be anything. Normally, we take kilometer square. तो हमारा dense zone होता है, example Ganga plains. Moderate, dense is where very less land पे a lot of people are found. Moderate is when the proportion of people staying is equal and good to the amount of land and resources available. So it has better facilities, or it has certain cultural significance usually, like Pune and then Varanasi, Jerusalem. Then sparse is places with extreme geographical conditions and climate, where it is very difficult to stay, like mountains, extreme deserts, Himalayas, Alps, Sahara, polar region. वो sparse होता है where the land is a lot, but the number of people staying there is very, very less. ठीक है? I'm really glad, Krishnaveni. Super happy to hear that and super proud of you. Now, most people live in Asia and Africa, with 10 countries holding over 100 million people each. So, that is the distribution that we have. Okay? Sivdarsha, Bache, there are 3 conditions. 1, let's say there is one land where normally 100 people can stay. And that will be where everyone is getting good amount of space, resources, everything. So, in that land when 100 people are staying, then we say moderate population hai. Resources ke proportional hai population. The amount of resources and land which is available, the population is proportionate to that. Good number of people are staying, that's moderate. Not at any extreme, not very high, not very low, exactly what was supposed to be. Now, on this land, instead of 100, if 300 or let's say 200 people start living, then it is a densely populated area. Land is less, resources are less, but more people are staying, more burden. Okay? And instead of 100, if only 40 or 50 people are staying, then it's a sparsely populated area, which means 100 people could have stayed, but only 50 or 40 are staying. More people can be supported, more lives can be supported, but less lives are there. Okay? Shivdarsha, is it clear to you now? So, now we know the different factors that influence the distribution of population, but we did not see is that the population of a place can never be fixed. Why does it keep changing? Does it change or not? Because population is a dynamic phenomenon. It keeps on changing. It changes over time. We saw that in last 200 years, 6 billion people have gotten added. So, what are the factors that are making that change? How do we read about it? How do we understand? Stay tuned to find that out in the next session. So, guys, do not forget to check out the Embibe Blends app, and please make sure to connect with us on our Telegram channel of 6 to 8. This is the link and the QR code. Okay, Shivdarsha, was it clear to you? Perfect. Okay, guys, so on that note, I am going to wind up the session now. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys very soon. So, stay tuned. There are a lot of interesting sessions that's coming up for you. So, please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Kal bhi ek session hai. Tomorrow itself you have another session. So, please make sure that students on the YouTube are subscribed, students on the app and the website of Embibe, you are registered for the upcoming session, right? So I'll see you soon. Till the next time, guys, take good care of yourselves. Have a great time. Have a great evening. And till the next time, hasta la vista, bye-bye, ciao. Stay tuned and keep imbibing.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.